Last evening in Las Vegas, Nevada, the largest mass shooting in modern U.S. history occurred, and over 58 people have been murdered and over 500 plus people have been injured. Now, this mass shooting occurred at the Route 91 Harvest Country Music Concert, and at around 10 p.m., a singer by the name of Jason Aldean was performing, and that's when a gunman by the name of Stephen Craig Paddock, who is 64 years old and is from Mesquite, Nevada, opened fire on a crowd of around 20,000 people. And he was in the Mandalay Bay Hotel on the 32nd floor, and he was firing at the crowd with automatic weapons. As of right now, the police have not identified which weapons he used, but he was found with over or around 20 uh, different firearms, and some of them were automatic. And at the moment, they don't have any motive why the guy did this, but he murdered 58 people and killed over 500 people. This is the largest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. This has now surpassed the Orlando nightclub shooting, which just happened last year. And my thoughts on this is that stuff like this is just tragic. When I learned about this, I was actually waking up. I live in Ohio, and I wake up around like 5:30 because I have to be at work at 6:30, and I just saw a ton of notifications on my phone because this occurred a couple hours before I woke up, and I mean I was just, my mind was blown away. I mean, I on my drive to work, I was just listening to the news, and throughout the morning, the death toll just kept going up and up and up and up, and it was just, I mean, the thoughts that go through my head when I hear stuff like this is that, first and foremost, I can't imagine what the families are going through right now because, Las Vegas is a vacation city, and a lot of people were probably there from other parts of the country vacationing, and a lot of times people will only get a few weeks of vacation, and what little um, peace or fun they had uh, going to that concert. I mean, they were happy to go to that concert, and then something like this happens, and it's sickening, man. And you know, I'm not the person with the answers or solutions for these kind of problems, but I hope that um, the people in our government, the people who are, or it's just anyone, just I mean, I hope someone comes up with a solution to end these kind of mass shootings because it's like almost every other week. And I could say that I'm shocked, but it happens so frequently that it's almost like we as a society are becoming numb, and it's becoming a normal thing for us. And that's what's really sad is that stuff like this is not supposed to happen at all. And the fact that it's happening on such a frequent basis, where every other week there's like a mass shooting or a terrorist attack, and I mean, I mean, you really have to cherish the moments you have with your loved ones because we live in a crazy and evil world where, one moment you're with someone and the next moment they're gone. And I've lost friends and family members to gun violence. And, when it happens to someone that it's just like, it's almost like you don't want to believe it because you were with someone, or you might have remembered, or you might have hung out with this person for the last time before um, you know they were murdered. And it's just, it's not something that, it's something you get over. I mean, it's something that will stick with you for the rest of your life. And that's why you always just have to, live every day to the fullest, because you never know when some sick freak, fucking animal will go off on a tangent and want to, do something like this. I mean, they're literally saying he had no motive. Like, the people around him were saying that he basically sat at home, watched TV, and ate burritos. Like, that's what they were saying in the news. And that's what makes it even more scary is that, this person had all these weapons and was a ticking time bomb, and then did something like this. And I mean, I'm personally a gun owner, but um, it's just, it's sad. Like, someone. I mean, I don't believe everyone is mentally competent enough to have the right to own a firearm. Like, but the problem is, like, how do you weed out the people who are, like, the 99, like how do you differentiate between the 99.99% of people who are normal and wake up every day without the thought of wanting to commit a massacre with the objects in their house, and how do you differentiate like, how do you weed out the 0.1% of people who are psychopaths like this? I mean, that's a sick ass person to want to open fire on a crowd of 20,000 people with automatic weapons. I mean, they didn't release the kind of weapons he used, but I'm probably assuming they were some form of assault rifle, like a AK-47, or of AR-15 variant kind of rifle. And a lot of those those kind of a lot of different, or a lot of the rifles like that, the ammunition won't only maim the people they hit, such as, like, it's going to cause a huge impact when you're hit with a bullet from like a 223 or AK-47 round or whatever, but it will also go through you and then hit the person behind you. And the fact that it was at a concert where there's not a lot of cover, because at concerts there's usually just a big auditorium where there's not a lot of obstacles in the way, because they don't want people's views obstructed. So, I mean, when you're raining down fire like that from the 32nd floor of a hotel, I mean, it was a massacre. I mean, it's just. I mean, in closing, all I have to say is that my condolences goes out to the families of the loved ones, and I just wish that we lived in a world where things like this didn't happen, and instead of headlines of mass shootings, we had headlines. We can wake up the headlines of, they cured cancer, or they had some sort of peace deal in some war torn part of the world or something. But it's just every single day there's atrocities being committed, and it's sickening, man. And that's all I have to say. And just cherish the moments you have with your loved ones, and peace.